We continue our coverage for the 2024 to 2025 Premier Volleyball League All-Filipino Conference now with Erica Santos and the PLDT high-speed hitters looking for their second win in the conference against France Ronquillo and the Galeries Tower Highrisers, who are still looking for the first victory in their campaign. This is our last game for today inside the Inares Center on the mountain of Antipolo, following history in the PVL with the first franchise victory of Zeus Coffee. Thank you for joining us, folks. This is Mix Gomez at your service alongside the momfluencer in Alexis Tinsay as our courtside reporter, and we do have Neil Flores as our analyst for tonight. Neil, we already saw history for today. Competition has just gotten better and better in the PVL.
I do agree. You know, itong PLDT and the Galeries Tower Highrisers are starting out strong this conference. In terms of performance, yes, itong Galeries, they lost back-to-back games, but these were five setters. They were still very impressive on the floor. And for PLDT, it was a very strong debut game for them.
Let's take a look at the team standings. What's happening so far in the All-Filipino Conference?
It's just the start of the conference, so wala pang masyadong movement pagdating sa team rankings. For PLDT, they're currently at the number 4th spot with a 1-0 record. And for Galeries, they're still looking for their first win.
And as Neil mentioned, it was a promising start already for the Galeries Tower Highrisers. Can they actually get their first victory against Jovi Prado and these high-speed hitters? There you see Julia Coronel. She's been excellent as the main setter of Galeries Tower in the first two games. Some glimpses as well of her being an opposite spiker. Can we see more of that in tonight's outing? But now we'll focus on a player who returned in this conference for PLDT. That is Savvy Davison. Back in her usual form, 19 points versus next lead.
That is correct. Savvy Davison actually missed the reinforced conference because she had to deal with a knee injury. Pero parang hindi naman siya namala. An explosive opening game for Savvy Davison. I feel like with the issues, wala na sa tuhod niya. Mas lumakas pa, mas tumaas pa yung talon. And today, she will be leading the offense of PLDT to get their second win.
Why don't we get some confirmation from our courtside reporter, Alexis Tinsay, who was able to have a word with Savvy before this game?
Alam nyo, Mix and Neil, nakausap ko si Savvy, like you said, parang hindi talaga siya nawala. And you know what, sobrang ganda nung kunento niya sa akin na sobrang important daw to see the things outside the court. Kasi syempre, pinag-uusapan lagi, atake, depensa, diba, coverage. But Savvy told me, sobrang importante daw talaga yung pagiging calm, cool, and collected ng PLDT. That's what's carried them all throughout the season. Pero dahil nga masyado daw silang kalmado, kailangan daw nila ng onting sense of urgency to get something more than just the bronze. And with that, alam nyo, may update ako dyan. You guys talked about the knee injury. Savvy actually got her surgery last September, and now she completed her rehabilitation. She's good to go and she's ready to fire it off on the court. Pagdating naman another update, si Kaf Fajardo naman, she's actually gotten her surgery just this October. So hopefully daw, sabi ni Coach Rald, this December, makapaglaro na din si Kaf.
Right. You know, these knees of PLDT, they have bothered the players.
Yeah.
KKD has been missing for quite a while. Even Majoy Baron's been bothered by her knee in the past couple of years. But you, Neil, do you have good feelings about these high-speed hitters and their health in this conference?
Yes, unang-una important na tapos na yung surgery. Yun talaga yung starting point. And si Savvy Davison, biggest advantage niya in the reinforced conference, she was able to rest and really observe how her team performed. But we have to talk about Majoy Baron because she has set her best record as a high-speed hitter against their game in next led. 14 points built off 7 blocks. That is such an impressive feat for Majoy Baron. Kaya wall out ang ating tatawagin dito for Majoy.
You know, I had to confirm with her if that was her best blocking game in her volleyball career. Sabi niya, hindi, may mga 8 blocks na siya back in her day with DLSU. But then again, we're very happy that she's in great condition. Again, that knee has bothered her for years already in the PVL. Now we transition on to their opponents, the Galeries Tower Highrisers. A promising player for them is their rookie in Jewel Encarnacion.
Of course, Jewel Encarnacion was the 15th overall pick in the 2024 PVL draft class. And nung rookie season niya, or rookie conference, I mean, medyo nag-struggle pa siya because she was still getting a feel of how the pros play. But here, 18 points against Chocomocho, that's a very impressive number as well because offense has been the problem of the Galeries Tower Highrisers with the injection of Jewel Encarnacion and now Julia Coronel. They will have more options to get those offense, that offense going.
Well, their chemistry definitely is building up here in the All-Filipino Conference. Before this game, una kong hinanap si Julia pero nauna na sa akin si Alexis eh. Kamusta yung usapan ninyo kanina?
Alam nyo, talagang gusto kong nakikipagkwentuhan kay Jewel kasi she breaks down everything into such technical details. Sinabi niya na meron daw silang plan A to Z. Kung hindi daw mag-work ang plan A, plan B, plan C, especially with regards to PLDT high-speed hitters, they actually prepared two styles of defense. In case hindi daw magsimula na okay, hindi okay yung una, meron pa silang pangalawa. Regarding pa dun sa Chocomucho nila na plans, dahil daw hindi daw nag-play out as much as they wanted. Kailangan daw talaga nila na hindi na daw sila maghahabol ng puntos ngayon. And also pala, Meg Senil, meron akong chika sa inyo. Alam niyo ba yung PLDT curse?
Ano yun?
Ano yun?
Alam niyo ba, for the past 3 seasons, Galeries Tower Highrisers has never won against PLDT and they always lost in 3 straight sets. Kaya hopefully daw, sabi ni Jewel, they will break the curse today.
Okay, so the trend has to continue for Galeries na extended set sila lagi. Well, if they can get the victory, then why not? Hindi ko kakalimutan yung sinabi ni Alexis ha, dalawang klaseng depensa ang ipapakita ng Galeries Tower, which means later on ipapa-evaluate natin yan kay Neil Flores. But now, let us evaluate the performance of Eliza Eroa in their previous outing. Neil, 30 digs.
Well, that is the usual number. Hindi naman ako nagulat doon. She is the reigning reinforced conference best libero, 30 digs against a strong attacking team like Chocomucho. As I said a while ago, they have to get their offense going if they want to win against PLDT. Pagdating sa depensa, wala na silang masyadong kailangan alalahanin because Eliza Eroa will always be present to receive and defend for Galeries.
You know, the story of this woman is quite similar to the other libero for tonight's outing in Kath Arado. This woman, Eliza Eroa, actually very vocal na yan bilang libero, but now she's a team captain much like Kath Arado. Well, that matchup is actually quite relevant for tonight. Why is that? I turn you back over to Alexis Tinsay.
Mix and Neil, we all know that the PVL is back. Sobrang na-miss talaga naman yung fans. And we know we love to engage with our lively fans online. That is why we have our exclusive poll question of the day. And the question is, which libero will rule the floor? Will it be Kath Arado or Eliza Eroa? You can answer that right below the stream. You can also join in the conversation online by using the hashtag, our new hashtag, Mix and Neil. It's hashtag PVL2025. And since 2025 to, ano pakiramdam nyo na syempre ang saya kasi mag-extend tayo until next year.
Well, first of all, I'm very excited because the storylines will continue to grow. Makita natin yung progress ng teams and then mag-shake up yung lineups natin for the rest of the conference.
Yeah, and aside from that, yung tournament format natin, it's fresh. Everybody will get a chance to hopefully compete in the next round and in the championship round. Sobrang unexpected na magiging turns for sure. So let's see. But for now, we have to focus on Galeries and PLDT.
All right, there you have it. We'll take a short break. After that, we'll have PLDT versus Galeries, the first serve.
is Julia Coronel, and I am now part of the Galeries Tower Highrisers. I'm really excited to finally play in the PVL. Sobrang nilulook forward ko talaga to na rookie season ko. No expectations. I'm just going to play my heart out and enjoy every game. Coming into this team at first was a bit challenging, definitely, kasi it's another new system that I have to start getting used to. Na-appreciate ko rin talaga yung mga teammates ko because they also made it really easy for me to connect to each and every one of them. And up until now, we're still forming our connection. And with our training everyday, nakita ko naman yung progress ng team namin. Watching my team from the sidelines last conference, nakita ko yung potential namin. I'm ready to contribute to that para may maipanalo kaming mga laro this upcoming conference. Goals for myself this conference is definitely to contribute to the team as much as I can. I'm really looking forward to being able to connect and being able to play with everyone. I definitely want my debut season to be a memorable one. Again, I'm really hoping to make an impact sa team and hopefully make an impact on the PVL as well. Hello to all the fans. Maraming salamat po sa pag-support sa akin and sa team namin, and we hope that you continue to support our team this upcoming conference. See you all guys there.
We have 0 changes in the starters for two teams comparing it to their previous games. As for Galeries Tower, it's Jewel Encarnacion with Isa Jimenez, Shannon Palek, Rosel Paliton, Franz Ronquillo, and Julia Coronel joining their team captain, Alyssa Eroa. And as for the PLDT high-speed hitters, the same as well. Team captain Catarado is being aided by Erica Santos, Savvy Davison, Majoy Baron, Del Palomata, Angge Alcantara, and Fiola Ceballos. Thank you for joining us as we come to you live from the Inares Center on the mountain of Antipolo. This is Mix Gomez with Neil Flores and Alexis Tinsay, our courtside reporter. Again, Galeries still looking for their first victory of the conference, while PLDT is looking for win number 2. Earlier tonight, Zeus Coffee got their first franchise victory. So can we see another team on the rise once more with these Highrisers?
We have a lot of player matchups to look out for. In the setter's position, it's Julia Coronel against Alcantara. And I am curious as to how Jewel Encarnacion will match up to the offense of Savvy Davison in this match. Tapos meron pa tayong libero head-to-head, Catarado. Already a household name. Hall of Fame na siguro to pagdating sa mga best liberos. You also have a rising star in Alyssa Eroa.
Well, that is our Pilipinas Live poll question. Which libero will outplay the other? As now it is an attack error by Jewel Encarnacion. It is 1-1 to begin the matchup. He mentioned the prowess of Jewel. In the previous matchups, Encarnacion had 10 points versus Akari and 18 versus Choco Mucho. So a bit of consistency in terms of her reaching double figures. Coronel onto Jewel. Some redemption for her.
She's playing better now, definitely, compared to the previous conference. And ngayon, she has been a consistent starter for Coach Lerma.
Jewel attributes the wonderful atmosphere that Galeries has provided for her that allowed her to grow so much in the pros. That hit by Baron did not go down. The counter from Isa Jimenez, and she was under the ball, but was there a check? First referee will award it to Galeries. A touch by one of the blockers of the high-speed hitters. It's a nice start for Galeries Tower, 3-1. They did win the opening sets of their first 2 matchups, and in extended fashion for both games. How about that rejection with Isa Jimenez working alongside Rosel Baliton?
Rosel Baliton is also a reliable blocker, I would say. Siyempre, matangkad din, so it is easy for her to get her block touches. Strong start for Galeries Tower, 3-point lead against PLDT. They want to continue their performance in the previous games na nakita natin sila. Nabibitin lang talaga sa dulo. They need that finishing kick kasi they can win sets. And now it's time to win games.
Davison, down the line target. There was a touch at the net, and now we send you to Alexis Tinsay.
Migs and Neil, I had the chance to talk to the player you highlighted a while ago with 10 points last match. Majoy Baron shared to me that throughout her entire career from LaSalle to all her past previous leagues, she's actually played based on her emotions. But since joining Coach Ral's system, everything has changed. She now views volleyball in a different light. It's no longer about playing with raw emotion. Instead, she focuses on the technical side of the game. Every move is calculated, precise, and efficient. She now understands that controlling her emotions together with the other team members, it's impossible. But controlling her game through strategy and technique is within her power. She compared it to playing chess. A different kind of high comes when you know you've prepared for every possible move and you're confident in your strategy. Coach Ral's emphasis on sports psychology has taken PLDT to a whole new level of mental focus. Let's watch how this new mindset plays out as we head back to set 1.
Talk about the battle of the minds for Majoy Baron. I want to see her in action in chess as well if we can. But now PLDT with a successful mini run, a comeback for them. 4-all is the tally. Coronel onto Baliton. That's dug up by Ceballos. Back to the open. Davison met at the net. The counter coming from Isa. Cross court. Arado with the dig. Middle hit. This is the longest rally so far. Alcantara keeping it alive, but that doesn't go through for PLDT.
Catarado wanted to get that 1-2 play. Pero masyadong mababa yung clearance ng ball.
Thus the reaction from the Kapitana of PLDT. The lead is back with Galeries Tower. The Patanggenyo serving that ball inside. That's Erica Santos in the middle.
Alcantara with a great combination play from the middle. To change things up here in the opening set, just a single blocker for Erica Santos.
This is good activity from Angge Alcantara, who of course has a lot of responsibility on her shoulders with the injury to calf. And of course, the departure of Rhea Di Maculangan, as now there is a violation called 4 touches on PLDT.
Can I just say, this season nakakatakot itong Galeries, and I say that in a good way because they have been challenging the top contenders of this league since last conference.
Yes.
But again, they just really need to be consistent in the end game.
Right.
Sila nadadali. But for sure, through experience, through more reps, they will get there. They're starting to build their program, and you can see how one person can actually make a big impact for their team. Julia Coronel, the setter, has made a lot of changes dito sa gameplay ng Galeries. She can set, but she can also attack. Nangyayari yan in multiple rotations. And in their last game, I saw the stat sheet, 10 points. So madami na yon as a setter.
Well, that in itself tells you just how big of a difference the draft is in the PVL. As now it is a rejection by PLDT's Del Palomata.
Blocking will be the advantage of the high-speed hitters, definitely.
This block of the set is brought to you by East West Bank, the official bank of the PVL, All-Filipino Conference. 7-6 PLDT on top. Ronquillo again with the equalizer.
Fast C-set from Coronel all the way to the left pin for Ronquillo.
Which team will lead us to the first technical timeout, toe-to-toe? Just like how it was for Galeries in their first 2 games. Alcantara onto the middle. That doesn't draw for Del. And here's the counter with France. Palomata again. Eroa keeping it alive. Coronel to Ronquillo. Dug up by Savi. The push by Angge. Ceballos outsmarting the 2 blockers. It is 8-7 in favor of PLDT. First technical timeout. Center in Antipolo. The PLDT high-speed hitters trailed at the start of this matchup, but they were the ones who led us to the first technical timeout against Julia Coronel and company. Erica Santos is the leading scorer so far with 3 points to her name. Unfortunately, that serve went out for her.
It's a nip and tuck affair between Galeries Tower and PLDT.
It seems like there was a change of the ruling, and it is a point for PLDT. Or do we replay the point? Yeah, there you go. It is credited to the high-speed hitters. Coronel to the open. Ronquillo smashes it down.
Shannon Palek sold her approach so well. Yun yung mga assist na importante for middle blockers.
The spike of the set is brought to you by Duncan, ang pasalubong ng bayan. The type of assist that won't necessarily reflect in the stat sheet, but they would be gladly taken by our teams. Alcantara onto Del. Hold in the middle. Ball put up and put back by Galeries. Palumata again. Ronquillo keeping it alive. What a chase by Eroa. But Coronel couldn't send it through.
What about the floor defense of Galeries Tower? Walang lumalapag.
Oh, isn't that their identity after all? Ten to 8, Viola Ceballos, who had a triple-double in their previous outing, serving that ball in. 1-2 for Coronel.
That will be a lifting violation called on Del Palomata. That was crystal clear. Catch and throw. PLDT still has a 1-point lead.
Quick recognition from the Las Pilipinas middle blocker. Lead down to 1. Shannon Palek, who has, by the way, played very well in their first 2 games. Gotta be happy for her starting for Galeries Tower. Service in. The attack comes from Savvy.
Timing is quite tricky when you're blocking Savvy Davison kasi mataas tumalon eh. So you have to wait for that jump first kasi ayaw mong malunod dun sa block.
And as you mentioned at the top of our coverage, it's as if she wasn't injured in the previous conference. Savvy Davison. Baliton. Attacking fast.
Coronel's just including everybody in the offense of Galeries Tower, activating Rosel Baliton this time on that be-quick play.
Even in the previous outing of Galeries, 11 players scored for them.
And 4 players were in double digits.
Davison. Oh, hold in the middle.
But for PLDT, maganda din yung pinakita nila against Nexted because 5 players were in double digits. Savvy Davison paced everybody with 19 markers, followed by the 15 of Erica Santos, 14 of Majoy Baron, and 13 of Viola Ceballos. Will cost them that point and will give PLDT a comfortable 3-point lead.
Joe is still warming up after all for Galeries. Only a couple of practices in with the team. First ball, Eroa. Coronel puts it up. There's Arado keeping it alive, but the chase was just too far for Savvy Davison.
Galeries Tower will now have 3 attackers in the front row.
Let's name them. Shannon Palek. We have Franz Ronquillo and Isa Jimenez, and that is a service ace for Cel Baliton.
Lead is down to 1. Walang team na kumakalas at this point of the set.
Biggest lead so far. 3 points for each of our squads. Oh, that scraped the tape of the net. It's Baron who couldn't score. Coronel now to the right. And here's Erica Santos. She will score. That's going to be number 5 for Erica.
Siya na yung main opposite hitter ng PLDT ngayon. And one of the interesting adjustments na ginawa ni Coach Ralph for their lineup is that he converted Jessie De Leon, a middle blocker, to become an opposite hitter. Nakita na natin yun in their previous game.
Could we see it again though?
Yeah, kasi ang daming middles ng PLDT. They have Mika Reyes. You can also see Ostero there sa bench nila. So maganda rin yung adjustment na ginawa ni Jessie.
15 to 14. There's one of their middle blockers,
Ooh, wow.
Palomata. It's saved, Ronquillo. PLDT back to Erica. Great coverage by Eroa. Unfortunately, Palek was blocked by Del. Second technical timeout. PLDT now up by 2 points.
Live from the Highrisers Sports Center here in Antipolo City, it's the PLDT high-speed hitters going against the Galeries Tower Highrisers and Mixon Neal. As you can see, Jo Marginot is debuting today as a Galeries Tower Highriser. It's only been 3 days since she started, as her move has just been finalized just now. 2 days worth of training, and now she's here, excited for game one. Jo wants to help in every way she can. She told me it's all about prioritizing her adjustments to the team. She's happy to reunite with some of her former teammates years back. Let's go back to set one to see what magic she can bring.
The magic on her third day for Galeries Tower. First ball received by Maraginot. Alcantara onto Palomata. And now it is Ronquillo scoring against 2 blockers.
That's a better attack point for Galeries Tower. Nakita natin yung ginawa ni Julia Coronel a while ago. Shannon Palek got rejected on that A-quick play. Mas maganda na yung slide para mahiwalay niya yung blockers. And that's the time that she can dish out a low fast set to the left pin. And she's been doing that consistently.
Right. On the other end, it's a 1-2 play for the setter of PLDT, Angge Alcantara.
I can score too, sabi ni Angge. It's a rare 1-2 play from Alcantara.
She had 3 points in her previous game against Nexled. That's across 4 sets. 17-15, the push to the open. Maraginot down the line.
That is the first point of Joanna Maraginot as part of the Galeries Tower Highrisers.
As you mentioned, they were in need of scoring. Delivery comes from the former Blue Eagle. There's a former Red Warrior, Kat Arado. That was a short serve, and it's a quick hit by Del Palomata.
They've been trying to get quick points from that point of attack. Pero kanina pa na-check si Del Palomata ng blockers ng Galleries. So binilisan lang nila, dinagdagan ng speed.
Thus, Del has 3 points already. Maraginot blocked. That was too far, even for Eliza Eroa.
That was a bit low for Joanna Maraginot. The blockers were already there.
Now we'll listen in to Coach Ler Mahiron.
Gamit tayo. Oo. Tingnan mo, pag sumabay, pasok pa rin kayo. Go with your play. Si Big Week. Tapos, yung likod natin, ready kayong dalawa. Coverage tayo. Ha? Uy, tatlo lang yan. Let's go.
As Galeries would look to execute its plays, I want to share to you something that was given to me by Julia Coronel, Grace Bombita at the sideline with RJ Doromal. Julia said that a part of her transition is getting used to the slow and fast sets, which you detailed to us a while ago. Ang maganda dyan, alas Pilipinas pa lang, nade-develop na ni Julia yung ganong classic sets.
Jenny Guzman was her mentor and very outspoken din naman si Julia Coronel, na idol niya, yung ate Gia niya.
Yes. Well, great execution in that previous play. Now Galeries will have Julia serving, down by 2 points. Their set ones versus Akari and Chocomucho again were extended. Will it happen again? Davison has a different idea.
Mataas talaga yung daan ng bola ni Savvy Davison, so you really need to get that timing right.
And by the way, I did ask her, are you at 100%? She said, not yet. Maybe at 90 to 95.
Wow.
So more to prove for Savvy Davison as that service went outside. Very long again for Angel Alcantara. There you see Coach Gerald Ricafort. Always very efficient with his words. Maraginot, service in. Fiola, first ball. It's Savvy, tipping it through.
Wasted opportunity for Galeries Tower. That was a high drop ball from Savvy Davison. At napabagal pa lalo ng block touch. So it was an opportunity for them to get their counter-attack.
21 serving 18. Baliton rejected. Coverage present. This time to Isa. Alcantara. Back row hit. That is out for Savvy.
Asking for a block touch. There will be a challenge from the high-speed hitters.
This is our first for this matchup. May umami na ba?
Yes, green card. There was a check ball on Rosel Baliton. Fair play award mapupunta sa Galeries Tower.
Always love it when you see that green card. And we avoid the delays. But we do have a timeout called by Coach Lerma. So let's listen in.
Sel, from block. Yan, ginawa din natin yan. From block, pwede tayo mag-recover. Ang importante, walang bumagsak na short ball. Okay, doon tayo namamatay eh. Lumamang sila ng ganyan, gawa ng depensa natin na hindi tayo kumukuha ng short ball. Okay? Sense of urgency. Ang baba, medyo mababa yung ano nyo, yung energy nyo, itaas nyo pa ng todo. Walang imposible kung gugustuhin nyo. Kaso, masyadong relax eh. Hindi na, naghahabol tayo. Kailangan doble effort tayo.
Let's go! Huwag mo masyado habulin. Iwan mo na lang.
Go, go, go.
Let's go, Galeries! Bye!
It is 22 to 18. Rochelle Baliton and company playing catch-up. Neil already mentioned, panapos na nagiging problema ng Galeries Tower. Pero ito, panimula pa lang. And they're already being challenged by PLDT. Jaw first ball. That was an overpass. It's put up by Catarado. Majoy Baron. Dug up by Eroa. Ronquillo blocked.
Battle of digging between Kat Arado and Alexa Eroa here in Antipolo. And we're here for it.
Yes. Pero hindi na nagpapahuli. Ang blocking ability ni Majoy Baron. We do have a challenge though. This will be our first official challenge because the first one was brought back by our officials due to the fair play action of Galeries Tower.
Coach Lerma is hoping for a net fault on one of the blockers of the high-speed hitters.
If there was, this would be the third unforced error of PLDT. How about going down? Nakita pa ba natin? Mukhang hindi na.
It was a clean block from PLDT. Unsuccessful challenge for Galeries Tower.
23, serving 18. This is now the biggest lead of the black shirts. Ronquillo, this time, will not be denied.
Ronquillo is also becoming the go-to scorer for Galeries Tower. Carly Hernandez will be replacing Rosel Baliton on the service line. A defensive substitution for Coach Lerma.
Carly actually had some starts already for Galleries, even in previous conferences, as a spiker. That was one of the things as to how they were able to stabilize their floor defense. A drop, read well by Carly. And to the other side, Jimenez going cross. That's brought back to Galleries Tower. Ronquillo, nice dig by Arado. Back row, Sabi. The rally continues. Ronquillo down the line. Yes, ma'am.
Great defense being shown by the Galeries Tower Highrisers. You gotta love the adjustment of Julia Coronel. Mababa yung set, so ang ginawa niya, pinabagal niya yung bola for Ronquillo so that Ronquillo can choose the best angle for that hit.
It can't be all fast and low, after all, for the sets of Julia. We're back with Carly, the service specialist. The target was Sabi. Ceballos, that was low. No call, we shall continue. Santos denied by Ronquillo.
That's back-to-back points for Ronquillo. It's not yet over, sabi ng Galeries Tower, and they will be forcing Coach Rald to call for that timeout.
It's the first time that we'll hear his voice for this matchup.
Kuha ng buwelo sa balot. Nakadalawang drop agad. Kapantay na yung pangalawa. Pagsakto ha, kawag niya namin. Wala bang head-up system na binaon sa gitna? Pero mga check eh. Kunin niyo muna.
Neil, I just love listening to Coach Rald Ricafort because, again, the words are not too many. He's pretty sharp with what he wants to say.
He's a very technical coach. So, ayaw din ni Coach Rald ng paligoy-ligoy pa. He wants to call it as it is.
And the body language as well. Diretso lang. Kalmado lang. Si Coach Rald. His team is up 23-21. Carly to serve once more. That's a misreceive. Push onto the right. And it's long for Erica Santos. The lead is down to 1.
Persistence is paying off for Galeries Tower. Just down by a single point.
It is a 4-0 run by the Highrisers. And again, are we going to have another extended first set for these green shirts? Majoy Baron giving PLDT their first set point.
Alam mong successful yung setter sa task niya pag nabigyan niya ng single blocker. Yung attacker, Majoy Baron, was up against Shannon Palek. It was an easy kill for PLDT.
Coronel onto the middle. That was Isa Jimenez.
Did you hear that hit? That was a strong hit from Isa Jimenez.
Beautiful set play for Galeries Tower. They're closing in their 24th point. Isa Jimenez. Sharp serve. Push to the left. Ceballos. That almost dropped. It's Ronquillo. Yes! Another extended set in the All-Filipino Conference for Galeries Tower.
I told you. They're a different team this conference.
In their first match against Akari, it was 30-28. They won the first set. Same story against Chocomucho, 29-27. It is 24-all. Ceballos pushing it through. The counter from France. The ball doesn't drop. Santos, not much power there. Coronel as an opposite hitter. That is outside. Oh, this is going to be a big challenge for Coach Lerma Hiron. Gotta love that dynamic though. At any time, they can just set things up for Julia to attack.
That's a good challenge. We're already at the deuce point. You need to get a 1-point advantage over PLDT. And yun yung wise decision to call for a block touch challenge. Medyo alanganin if ball in, ball out. Let's see.
Ooh, they were right.
Yeah, there was a block touch on Mika Reyes. And just like that, Galeries Tower is now at set point.
It has been a 7-1 run for Julia Coronel and company. Service in for Isa. Back row for Sabi. And we have another deuce.
Substitution this time for Coach Raldrick Fort. Jovi Prado will check in. Babalik ngayon si Erica Santos sa service line.
First ball, Eroa. 1-2 for Julia. Battle at the net. Oh, how about Angel Alcantara winning it for PLDT?
Alcantara won that joust against Shannon Palek.
That's a setter versus a middle blocker. And the setter won it. Ooh. Palek is down. She's holding on to her left arm. Or is it the shoulder?
It is the left shoulder of Shannon Palek.
Let's hope that this is not going to be too bad for Shannon. She's just getting her groove in the All-Filipino Conference. And we say that because in her former team of Choco Mucho, he wasn't getting as much action for Jur Floor. Of course, it was a challenge as well to get some wins. Not sure what happened to the left shoulder there.
Mabilangan will now occupy the setter's position. Julia Coronel will be an outside hitter because they do need to get one kill in this next rally.
26-25. Eroa going to Julia. Off speed, read well. Back row, Savi, hole in the middle. And PLDT will get set number 1. Savi Davison in double figures already after set number 1.
Wow. Gulat ako dun, Mix. Double digits already for Savvy Davison, and we're just getting started.
If we were impressed by her 19 in her previous game, her tally could be a lot higher in this outing versus Galeries Tower. 27-25 in set 1. It was the third extended set number 1 in the campaign of Galeries Tower, but for the first time they lost it to the PLDT high-speed hitters with a score of 27-25. Much to the surprise of Neil Flores, we saw 10 points already from Savvy Davison.
I know the Galeries Tower did a good job in catching up dito sa PLDT, lalo na nung tail end ng set number 1. But again, in the end, it was still PLDT on top because of the attacking of Savvy Davison. When you're in trouble, of course, just have to go to your best scorer, best attacker, and kahit nasa back row si Savvy Davison, that's still a deadly option for Coach Raldrick Aport.
Pumorsyento na si Angge Alcantara as now we present to you our statistics.
PLDT was able to build that wall against Galeries Tower as they collected 5 blocks. Ang maganda naman sa Galeries, dumikit sila sa attacking department, and that is something that has been a problem for them in the past, but now they're already working for their points. They're not relying on the unforced errors of PLDT, although PLDT committed 6 in set number 1. So that's still a good sign. Again, set number 1 was not an indication on how this game will pan out. Mahaba-haba pa to. But we're praying that okay lang si Shannon Palek.
Yes.
Hopefully nothing serious. Dun sa left shoulder.
At least she can move it right now. Di maangat yan kanina. And if you would actually remember the sequence, the joust was with Palek using her right arm. So hindi involved yung left shoulder niya. Later on, we'll look to hear from Alexis Tinsay for an update about Shannon. There is Savvy Davison, 10 points. But it was actually quite a duel between her and France Ronquillo, who also had 9 points in the opening set.
Joanna Marignot will get the starting nod also.
Oh,
Encarnacion will be coming off the bench. We will start the second set with an ace from Fiola Ceballos. She is the leading server.
Yes.
She is the leading best server of the league after their first game. So, matagal-tagal pa to. She has to collect more service aces to stay on top.
she had 4 in their opening game versus next led. Wala ulit lalapag against Galeries Tower. Here's the counter. Davison met at the net. Julia with a chase. France to send it through. Kath back to the left. Savvy blocked. That's what you want to see from Julia Coronel, one of our taller centers in the PVL.
An all-around player for Coach Lerma. She can block, she can dig. She can also be an attacker.
Yes.
Kanina nakita natin siya in the left wing.
We mentioned her 10 points in their previous outing. 3 of them came from blocks. But now she couldn't save that ball off of that drop by Savvy Davison.
Just pushing that on the above the blockers of Galeries Tower, finding that donut hole in the middle of the defense.
Combination, Jimenez puts it down.
Same move.
Yes.
Ganun na ganun din. Donut
Nanggaling lang
hole.
sa kabilang
Yeah.
angulo.
Donut hole of a defense, this time from PLDT.
Two all. That was really low for France. Now let's go to Alexis Tinsay.
Migs and Neil, just an update on Shannon Palek at the latter half of set number 1. She actually got to dislocate her left shoulder, but she was able to pop it right back into place and felt no pain while the PT was stretching her arm. She was even able to move it in circles. They're currently having her checked out. And Migs and Neil, this isn't the first time her shoulder has been dislocated. According to their PT, it's the first time it happened during this conference. She actually had a lot of time to recover from those past times. I'll keep you updated on whether she'll be able to play in the upcoming sets. Back to set 2.
Thank you, Alexis. So it was fragile after all already for Shannon Palek. Get well soon. And yes, it was popped back. But more often than not, it's still bound to mamaga pa yan, di ba?
Plus hindi mo siya pwedeng ilaro agad. You really have to get the proper tests to make sure that you're cleared to play. For now, somebody has to step up in that position. It will be Andrea Marzon, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct. Andrea back in after the slide by Rosel Baliton. Rosel was the co-middle blocker who started this matchup with Shannon Palek. 4-3. Tough set by Amge, and that was an easy block by Galeries Tower.
That will be registered under the name of Joanna Marginot. Block of the set is brought to you by East West Bank, the official bank of the PVL All-Filipino Conference.
It's the third point of Jo Maraginot, her first with her defense. Retribution from Erica Santos, the second leading scorer of PLDT with 6.
Erica Santos loves that combination play from the middle. Every time they have a free ball or a chance to go to that, hinihingi niya rin talaga.
Yeah. That is long for Savvy. It will be service error number 3 overall for PLDT. As Neil detailed, they had 6 total errors in set number 1. You think about it, marami na yun. Because their average was only 4.5 versus next lead. That hit sailed long and out for Ceballos.
She wanted to get a touch on the fingertips of the blockers, but the trajectory was just too high.
The lead is now with Isa Jimenez and company. Isa serves it in. Amge spinning set, and it's a point for Majoy Baron.
Flying under the radar, but when you give that set to her, she can immediately convert for Coach Cal.
That's 4 points for Majoy, 2 off of attacks. Julia, also a spinning set, but her attacker was blocked. Here's Majoy. She will now be tested at the back. Marzan, an absolute net touch.
Easy point for Galeries Tower. Natawa na lang.
Yeah,
The players on the floor.
Nangyari doon.
That doesn't happen all the time.
It was the right hand of Viola Ceballos that got stuck at the net. That was a sharp serve. Chased by Julia. France cross. Angge with a quick look. And the pipe was low for Savvy Davison. It's Galeries who will lead us to our first technical timeout in set number 2. Of all time. And again, do use the hashtag PVL 2025 for the rest of our campaign. If you want to tweet or send us your thoughts, answer our Pilipinas Live poll question as well between the 2 liberos as our storyline for tonight. Oh, that was a hammer from Erica Santos.
There were a lot of holes in the defense of Galeries Tower in that last sequence.
This spike of the set is brought to you by Dunkin', ang pasalubong ng bayan. And there's the donut hole for you, Mr. Torres. 8-all, Ronquillo, cross.
She's showing a lot of variation in her attacks.
This is the second time in this conference that France has reached double figures after scoring 11 versus Choco Mucho. But that was in 5 sets. Definitely a better pace for her tonight. Ceballos. No problem against two blockers.
Yola Ceballos needed that to get her confidence back.
Only her third point in this matchup so far. She had 13 versus next led. Oh, a misreceive. This is a chance ball. Alcantara, bump set, Xavi, yes.
As I said, it feels like she never left.
Yes.
After the surgery, kadalasan hinay-hinay pa yung mga players after rehab, but we see her at what, 90-95% based sa kanya.
Yes. And by the way, it's the same knee that got injured. She was 17 years old when she first injured that left knee. And of course, now at 25, the second time that it has happened. Because now that was a point for France Ronquillo. Now a dozen to her name. 10-all in set number 2. Julia. That could have gone out. Xavi blocked. Angge, same attacker. Yeah, that wasn't the best of sets. Here's the counter. Isa Jimenez, dug up by Erica. Angge, back to Xavi. Eroa, now to France. Block, coverage by Lai. And Baliton to drop it. Saved by her former teammate. Cross court, another dig by Eroa. Angge, 1-2, Eroa again! And that is a tough angle already for Isa Jimenez.
You can keep on calling the shots, Mix. I'm just enjoying myself. Watching Eliza Eroa and Kat Arado battle it out on the floor.
We're gonna start asking for their statistics. Digs, receives for our two premier liberos.
Ooh. Not the best of passes.
And that was long with no touch for Isa Jimenez. So far, walang lumalayo in set number 2, which was a story at the start of set number 1. And even then, kahit na lumamang ng 5 ang PLDT, nakabalik pa rin ang Galeries. That almost dropped her Baliton. Here's the counter. Xavi, way under.
Rare error from Xavi Davison. But she's still human after all. Last time I checked.
I want to see her at 100%. What would that be for Xavi? Alcantara. Davison. Huelo pa lang. Alam mo na.
Narinig ka niya.
My goodness.
100%. This is just the taste of it. Look at that cross-court hit, avoiding the established double block of Galeries Tower.
14 already for Davison, and that's a service error by Angge.
PLDT has to watch out for these errors. Again, they committed more unforced errors in set number 1.
Already 5 in this set. Chance to equalize for Galeries. Xavi, drop. That's too far for France.
This time it was a power tip. Julia Coronel got a hand on that ball, but she wasn't able to control the direction.
That was a sharp serve. Banaginot! No more dig for Catarado.
The Eagle Claw is back. I'm sure lahat ng Joanna Maraginot fans masaya today.
Yes! Your queen has returned. And this is with only less than a week of practice alongside the Highrisers. What more in the next weeks? It's to our delight. The biggest lead was just 2. That's in this set. There's Erica Santos. Arado with a receive. That's dug up by Eroa. Maraginot off the block.
Galeries Tower loves playing catch-up, First set, second set, they're now in the lead by a single point.
But can they hold on to this advantage? Still looking for win number 1. Alcantara back set to Erica. And redemption off the block for her against Jo.
Substitution for Coach Lerma. She will be converting Coronel to an attacker. They need a quick rotation.
$15-all. Which team will send us to the second technical timeout? Maraginot, cross against Majoy. 16-15, Galeries Tower.
Second technical timeout score, 16 for Galeries Tower, 15 for PLDT.
Back inside the Inares Sports Center in Antipolo. There you see Angge Alcantara. Once again, she's able to activate the attackers of PLDT. 15 for Davison, 8 for Santos, 4 for the middle blockers each, Baron and Palomata, and 3 for Ceballos. Angge has 3 points of her own as well. On the other end, Julia Coronel, with the insertion of Rene Mabilangan, is back to her attacking position. Then again, this hasn't been her priority. It was only 1 year in high school when she was still with CSA that she was used as an opposite spiker kasi naubusan sila ng opposite spiker. But the attacking is there, will always be there for Julia. And can that switch up be effective once more for Coach Lerma Hiron? Service for Jo. Alcantara to Ceballos. Dug up by Ney at the net. Chaser savvy. Arado will give up a free ball. Straight onto Eroa. And here's Ronquillo. Dug up by Kath. That's her 12th dig in this game.
Oh.
And another one. Palomata couldn't drop it. Nice rally. Ronquillo got a deflection. Here's the counter. Santos at the best of angles. That hit the antenna.
Yep. Galeries will get this point and will hold on to a 2-point lead. The antenna definitely moved, but I think PLDT will challenge.
All right. Let's see if the challenge will determine otherwise. But to our angle, and we're pretty close to it, we did see movement from the antenna. At sa lagay na yun, mas malapit pa yung second referee natin.
Catarado has been spectacular after getting that perfect dig. She was right there behind Viola Ceballos for the coverage, and ang bilis ng balik ng bola, but she was able to pop that ball up.
Arado, by the way, is 3 receptions away from a double-double. And we're only in the second set. Well, we're about to show the replay. Let's press play. In a while.
Oh, so ano yan?
Oh.
So it was the left
Successful. Yes, successful.
pinky.
Yes, yes.
So the antenna touch will be called on the Galeries Tower Highrisers.
There you go.
It wasn't the hit of Erica Santos.
Challenge successful for Coach Rald Ricafort. Erica Santos to serve. Ney, France, off the block, ball went to the other side.
12 points already for Franz Ronquillo. High efficiency attacking from her.
That's her conference high. Just like that. We have a couple of subs. This is Ange Legacion with Jessie De Leon checking in. As you mentioned, Jessie has been converted as a wing spiker. And it's the service specialist on the other end, Carly Hernandez. De Leon had 4 points off the bench in their previous game against Nextled. This is Viola Ceballos. That was really short.
Just too low on that drop ball. Jovi Prado will replace Viola Ceballos.
You got to get the substitution right. There is a protocol to it. Prado, good to have her back as well. Also came off the bench versus Nextled, but she was scoreless. Here's Carly, 18-16. A miss received. Jovi approaches. Deflection, a save. Joe sends it through. A chance for PLDT. Push to the left. Jovi is blocked. Coverage by Kath. Savvy from the back, and that goes down.
Corner pocket way open dun sa floor ng Galeries Tower.
In the middle of zones 5 and 6 for the woman. Already has 16 points in this game. Lead down to 1. Ney back sets. Coronel. That was wide with a big smile on the faces of Julia and Coach Lerma Hiron.
Ball was just too flat for Julia Coronel.
And she's asking for another one. I mean, can we blame her? Minsan lang siyang umatake. Eroa. Now to France. Jovi keeps it alive. Push to the left.
Too
Nice
close.
block.
Yeah. Set was just too close to the net. Height advantage of Rosel Boliton coming into play. That's it for the substitution of Coach Lerma. Isa Jimenez will march back in.
So the front line consists of Isa, France, and Cell. 19-18. Set number 1 was extended if you missed it. And if you missed it as well, Zeus Coffee got their first franchise victory in PVL history. That was a sharp serve. Savvy. Nice swing, but it was checked. Here's the counter with France. And a sign that Catarado is human.
Okay. First line of defense ng PLDT, nandyan si Del Palomata, nalagpasan ni Franz Ronquillo, but then Catarado was also there, so that should feel good for Ronquillo, getting past the 2 defenders of the high-speed hitters.
Thus the big smile on her face. 13 for France.
out of system, di ba ito yung pinapractice? Hanggang dyan yung mark. Hanggang dyan. Hanggang dyan. Wala pang sinaset na hulo na agad eh. Tapos biglang papasok sa gilid nung... Hintayin nyo muna doon sa normal natin. Baka kagalaw-galaw muna kayo.
Okay, coach.
Endgame ah. Go, go,
Yes,
go.
coach. Tara, tara, endgame.
PLDT trying to give us the third match that would be settled in straight sets in our conference. It's been that fun so far in our campaign. Most of the games have been extended. Earlier today, Zeus won in 4 sets against the next-led Chameleons. As it stands, it is 20-18. Jesse De Leon and Ange Legacion alongside Del Palomata will look to equalize things. Julia Coronel has 6 excellent sets so far. She had 11 in their second game. Savvy cross, Eroa putting it up, a chase for Jo. France to send it wide.
Great effort from Eliza Eroa to keep that ball alive.
Sheila Kiseo will now be serving for the high-speed hitters. Palomata gets a breather. The younger high-speed hitters on her first appearance for this matchup. Sheila puts it in. It's Jimenez off the combination. And a miscue for PLDT. This is a chance for Galeries. Back set to France. And off the block, she will score.
They're inching closer to the 25-point mark. Ito na yung hinahanap ni Coach Lerma na panapos. They need to bring out that killer instinct.
21-19, France serving it in. And onto Jesse. Oh, that was in.
Right on the line. Zone number 1
Low challenge there.
was open.
It's good to see the effectivity of Jesse De Leon as an opposite hitter. Corner pocket for Jesse. There's Erika Santos, the starting opposite hitter for PLDT, back in action. Back to the receiver. That doesn't drop. The counter with Savvy. Ooh, a net touch. It happened quite late. $21-all. Timeout, Coach Lerma, but now we'll see what happened. Oh, it was Isa Jimenez as she was going down. It would be costly.
Disiplina tayo sa loob ng court, okay? Puntos na dapat natin yun eh. Play na tayo doon. Kalmahan lang natin, okay? Pero kailangan sa depensa walang bumagsak, ha? Basa tayo. O, tayo ang pasa. Pasahan natin ng maayos. Jo, kung kayang i-line, ipa-check out, zone 1 ang target natin. Okay? O kaya kung gusto mo mag-cross, manipis. Manipis.
Bawi ako.
Single block, activate natin ang middle. Let's go!
Galeries!
Galeries will be going long. Are we going to see a touch with the net defense of PLDT? Jo Maraginot is making her first appearance as a Highriser.
There are 2 options for Jo Maraginot as instructed by Coach Lerma. She can go for a sharp cross court or she can go down the line.
Here it is. Met at the net. Davison. Dug up. Jo blocked. And that goes out for Baliton. PLDT with the advantage.
3 consecutive points for the high-speed hitters.
22-21. Tough receive by Eroa. Maraginot again. Played it sharp.
Yeah, that was the instruction a while ago. The checkout didn't work. Okay, let's try going sharp cross.
The angle of the body was challenging. But then again, we've seen this before from her.
It's one of her favorite angles.
22 all. Marzan has returned. Baliton serves. Naagaw ni Catarado si Jovi Prado. And now it is Maraginot with an error.
Ball was just too high. But they will challenge for a block touch.
Was it actually not high enough? After all, 1 point would mean a lot in this virtual race to 3 in set number 2.
Josh, pakiremind yung Galeries. Hanggang di pa nila nakikita sa team. Josh? Pakiremind.
Nope, there was no block touch. Clear as day. That was clean.
Sabihin mo si Harvey, siya pakiremind.
I love your expressions about the, being clear in volleyball. Crystal clear, clear as day. And I look forward to more from you, Neil. Combination, Isa to the back. Alcantara to the open. Down the line for Jovi Prado.
Specialty of the house from Jovi Prado. Hindi ganun kalakas, but perfect placement there.
Was her body facing right as well?
Yup.
With that, it is a 2-point advantage for PLDT.
Okay? Hindi pwede kasi yung magbibigay tayo ng chance tapos sila atake. Mas okay na tayo ang umatake. Ngayon, kung atake kayo, be smart. Then, bilisan ninyo, huwag niyong bagalan.
Thank you.
Uy, defense 2 tayo. Nabasa mo yun?
Kasi sobrang dito sa linya, kaya hindi ko na-upload.
Kaya mo yun. Yung sa dulo ka nakakabot.
Wala.
Ay, ilaban natin to. Hindi pa tapos yan, ha? Laban tayo, laban.
Galeries once again with their backs against the wall. 2 set points for the PLDT high-speed hitters. PLDT actually is looking for its first straight set victory in the conference. Savvy Davison with 16 to her name. Julia Maraginot blocked and no coverage.
And that was just a predictable attack already from Galeries Tower. Erica Santos and Majoy Baron were just waiting in the wings to get that kill block.
That is the third block in this game for Majoy Baron. She had 7 in their previous outing. Can she actually surpass it? It's 2-0 in favor of PLDT. Highrisers. That actually was the biggest lead already of PLDT in that set. 3 points. It was close. Pero nagkulang na naman sa panapos ang Galeries Tower.
That's just pure experience from the high-speed hitters. They've been in a lot of situations that they were down by a couple of points. Pero nahabol nila. And for Galeries Tower, I have one word for them. Sayang.
Yeah.
Again, sayang. They had a 2-point lead. But then they started to become predictable. They weren't able to get that sight out na hinihingi ni Coach Lerma. And in the end, it was the net defense of PLDT that gave them set number 2. PLDT still controlled the attacking department, but now mas gumanda na yung net defense ng Galeries Tower. They were able to match the output of the high-speed hitters, but PLDT still scored one more unforced error compared to Galeries Tower.
So, more errors actually in set 2 compared to set number 1. And that's not a good sign for Coach Gerald Ricafort because in their first game, they only had 18 in total. So, this definitely has room for improvement. But the most important thing is the fact that they're still up 2 sets to none against Galeries Tower.
They want to continue that streak against Galeries Tower. As mentioned earlier, they've always won their games in straight sets fashion against the Highrisers. But for Galeries Tower, it's not yet over.
Yeah.
I mean, yung mga reverse sweep, daming beses na nangyari yan. Or hindi man reverse sweep, nananalo pa rin ng set number 3 and set number 4 to at least get a chance to win the game.
As you can see, Shannon Palak is already wearing the warmer of Galeries Tower because she dislocated her left shoulder earlier tonight. We're hoping for her speedy recovery. And you know what? This actually gives me more cause of concern for her because we had this conversation before this game. Apparently, she already thought about retiring. And this would be the season to determine as to whether or not she'll stick with playing. Because Shannon already started coaching. She already has a coaching duty for a school, and then she works with Nicole Chami Chamzon.
And I think she joined a different league before rejoining the PVL.
Alongside Eliza Eroa. They were teammates back then, representing Marikina, which is of course close to Rizal, where we are right now. There is some clarification going on before we proceed to set number 3. But I'd like to welcome you all and thank you for joining us. This is Mix Gomez at your service alongside Neil Flores and the momfluencer in Alexis Tinsay. She was actually the one who gave us the bit about the PLDT curse. Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Yung puro 3 sets ang panalo ng PLDT against Galeries in the past couple of years. And once more, Zeus Coffee got their first victory in franchise history earlier tonight against Next Led, which is another testament to the growing level of competition in the Premier Volleyball League. We begin set number 3. Davison. That was wide.
Too much angle on that hit.
It was wide open though for a hammer.
Yeah.
It's fine for Savvy. She does have 16 points.
She will end with at least 20 for sure.
Which would mean a conference high for her. And that is long. But there was a touch.
Yes, it was on Savvy Davison. Wasn't on Del Palomata. Left pinky of Savvy Davison.
Point for Isa Jimenez. 2 love in favor of Galeries. Davison, retribution. No save from Coach Lerma Hiron.
No, PLDT can't afford to start slow. If they do want to end this in 3 straight sets.
The drop by Baliton. Here's the counter. Davison again, and she was under. Now we go back to Alexis Tinsay.
Migs and Neil, if you've noticed the pattern of Galeries Tower Highrisers, you'd most likely agree with Julia Coronel. She mentioned to me that they've always started strong given that they won the first sets of their first 2 games. Pag nakita nyo naman yung first 2 sets of this game, di kita ng puntos. Sabi ni Dimdim Packers, ibang klase yung preparasyon na ginawa nila in all attempt to break the PLDT curse. Like you said, Migs, on a technical level, Galeries prepared for PLDT's long balls. They also solidified their reception and maintained consistency in their passes. Last but not the least, nakita natin, nandito na ang Eagle Claw na si Joe Maraginot. Let's see if they can turn things around this set 3.
So far, it's checks on the board for PLDT and maybe more checks for Coach Lerma Hiron moving forward. But we will not let pass that certain person right beside Alexis Tinsay. You know, we ought to have more reports like that. Yung katabi ng crowd, yung courtside report.
Fan involvement.
Oh. And the Iron Claw is able to score. Joe Maraginot.
Another good start for Galeries Tower. They just keep this up until the very end of the set. They can see a different result.
That was a short serve. 5-2, Davison. She's still good.
He's also not choosy pagdating sa mga sets. As long as you put that ball high enough, she will hammer it home.
Savvy Davison with 18 points to her name. Glad to have her back. That was a sharp serve. Almost an ace. Angge onto Majoy. Ball up by Galeries with smiles on their faces. And that goes in for Andrea Marzan. Is that number 1 for Andrea? Yes.
Predictability was the issue in the tail end of set number 2. Ang ganda ng ginagawa din ni Mabilangan na even if it wasn't the optimal pass from her receivers, hinabol pa din niya yung set papunta kay Andrea Marzan.
It is now a 4-point advantage for Galeries Tower. This would be their biggest lead in the game. First ball cap. Santos dug up by Eroa. It's Maraginot blocked. Coverage present. Joe again. An easy dig. Back set to Erica. Got a hand, and that's an absolute check.
Oh, it was actually a down-the-line hit from Erica Santos. Eliza Eroa was there pero nagbago yung direksyon ng bola nung tumama sa kamay ni Joanna Maraginot. But that has been her best choice of attack in this entire game. Just avoiding the 2-woman block of PLDT.
We are back for Galeries Tower and PLDT. The Highrisers still looking for their first victory in their campaign. PLDT looks to stay clean at 1-0 so far, having defeated Next Led in 4 sets. For Galeries, they lost to Akari in 4 sets and to Choco Mucho in 5 sets. Are we going to see another extended match where these Highrisers, Joby Prado and company, have a different idea? 8-4. Joe Maraginot. Angge onto Savvy. That goes to the patron section.
Even Eliza Eroa couldn't control the power net of Savvy Davison.
This spike of the set is brought to you by Duncan, ang pasalubong ng bayan. The tough set by Angge. And yet, the bailout once more by Savvy. On the other end, it's a point for Franz Ronquillo.
This is a 4-point lead for Galeries Tower, so even if they just exchange points with PLDT, they can still win this set.
But as you mentioned, we've seen comebacks already from the high-speed hitters in this matchup.
May pagka-diesel yung PLDT pagdating ng midpoint ng set. That's the time that they really step on the gas.
And if you're Barbie Marzan and company, you won't want to commit these types of errors, the giveaways for PLDT. Del Palomata back in action here in the PVL with their hands up. Baliton inside.
Yes. Back to a 4-point lead for Galeries Tower.
Getting comfortable with their biggest lead in the matchup. Biggest lead overall was 5 in set number 1 by PLDT. Davison down the line. There's a check. And guess what? It's 20 points already for Savvy, but we have a challenge.
Given na ata yung 20, siguro kailangan natin i-claim ng 25 or 30.
Oh, sige. Challenge natin.
That's the standard of one Savvy Davison.
If you're actually watching on Filipinas Live, why not have fun on the comment section? Hulaan ninyo kung ilang puntos ang makukuha ni Savvy sa larong ito. The leading scorer of the tournament so far is Brooke Van Sickle. And I did have a conversation with Savvy about Brooke before this matchup, as that was clean. I asked Savvy, are you excited for that duel? And she said, yes, I am, but it's at the latter part of the schedule. Sa February pa magaganap ang Petrogas versus PLDT. Well, after all, those two actually competed against each other in NCAA Division 1 back in the US. Now we have a counter challenge.
Will it be a net fault challenge? Oh, it's a ball in, ball out.
And to my eyes, I actually thought that it was good. So let's see if the challenge can confirm it.
No, it
wala.
was definitely
I was deceived.
outside.
That's why we have the challenge, to be sure.
Coach Ralph will lose one challenge opportunity and he's down by 5 points.
This is the biggest lead of Galeries Tower, matching the biggest lead in the game. Short serve, and it's an ace for the Mabilangan.
As a young team, itong Galeries, dami ring energy. So when the game comes to a point na 5 sets, walang problema when it comes to conditioning.
We have a timeout for Coach Ralph.
Sobrang hard, sir. Yung side out, bilisan na natin. Kailangan makaroon tayo sa mag-serve natin eh. So yung target sa kayo alaga. Target sa quality pala. Yung footwork, same pa rin. Doon pa rin naman natin. Mga press natin. Extra effort lang. Balik tayo. Go.
Sabay! Balik tayo, balik! Reality!
Balik.
Biggest lead extended. 6 points now, 12-6 in set number 3. Much to the dismay of women like Savvy Davison and Jovi Prado, who's now having a conversation with Catarado. There's Angge Alcantara, who actually was reunited with Coach Ral Dricafort, her former assistant coach back in Adamson. Angge could not chase it anymore. It's Arado with a bump set to Davison, and that was a sharp hit.
So is that officially 20 points or 21?
20, yeah, because the previous attack was out.
Yeah.
But then again, we're not surprised. The new conference high for Savvy Davison. France, that was tight. A chance for PLDT. Baron. Dug up by Jo. Ronquillo met by Majoy. Settled to the other side. Here come the high-speed hitters. Santos onto the back. Counter with Baliton. Nice rally. Oh, and as I say that, it's a miscue.
Savvy Davison was still on the floor. Because she saw that ball coming, but Machoy Baron got in the way of Savvy Davison, so there was no one left to pick up that first ball.
13-7, Ronquillo with 15 to her name. Davison blocked. Galeries keeping it alive. Down the line target. That was read by Jovi. Savvy, her down the line works.
She's just toying with the defenders of Galeries Tower. From net defense to the digging department of Galeries Tower, she has successfully beat them in their game. And yun yung specialty of the house ng Galeries Tower, yung floor defense nila, backed by Alyssa Eroa.
That's a point off the block from the opposite side of PLDT. Erica Santos now with 11 points. She's 4 away from matching her previous game output, 15 versus next lead. 11 excellent sets so far for Angge Alcantara. This is mabilangan to Isa. Angge with a dig, Baron through and through. May back sets. Isa going cross again. Kath to Savvy. Eroa sending it back at the net. It's a drop. Arado keeping it alive, but not enough for PLDT.
Rosel Baliton has been a force up front, getting a lot of great rebounds against the strong attackers of PLDT.
Tightest might for Rosel Baliton. Will now check out as their service specialist returns. This is Carly Hernandez. She's been quite successful so far when she serves. First ball, Jovi. Oh, that's tight. And a drop for Barbie Marzan.
Nobody went up for the block. That was such an easy kill for Andrea Marzan. She didn't need to put so much effort because ang laki nung butas, nasa harapan lang niya.
It's the best early Christmas gift that she can get. And thus, it is a 6-point advantage. Majoy Baron and company trying to avoid the second technical timeout. Davison. Ooh! The target was Coach Lerma.
Savvy Davison up high and down hard. May checklist din si Savvy Davison eh. Ano pa ba yung mga zones na hindi ko pa natatarget doon?
Well, with 22 points so far, I think she has it covered. Savvy from the back.
What else can we say about her performance? Can watch a 10-minute video of her highlight reels.
Yeah. 23 points so far. Can she actually reach 30? Eroa first ball. Jimenez. Ball up by Savvy. Santos down the line. You gotta be happy with the progress of this woman as well, Erica Santos. Truly, she earned her starts for Coach Rald Ricafort, and now it's down to a 3-point lead.
Naka-atras na sila. Pwede natin targetin to. Pwede pa rin tayo magmanipis dito. Pwede natin i-cut shot dito, then manipis dito. Ngayon, kung ano yung ginagawa natin, yun din yung ginagawa nila. Kasi naka-close yung block dito. Okay? So, kailangan natin dumipensa. Ito, yung spot na yan. No? Kailangan natin dumipensa dyan. Pero, offense tayo. Pag hindi, ito lang ang, ano dyan, simple instruction. Pag hindi ka pumalo, sila ang papalo. Ang bagal ng palo mo, bilisan mo. Mabilis ang palo. Single block ka na.
Isa Jimenez getting some hard instructions from Coach Lerma Hiron. By the way, they've been together for the longest time. UE High School pa lang magkasama na yung dalawang yan. Sa UST, humabol din si Coach Lerma kay Isa. At ngayon, magkasama sila muli sa Galleries Tower. Tough set. And this is a chance for PLDT. Erica off the block.
From a 6-point lead, now down to 2. That timeout from Coach Lerma made sense. I mean, if you're not going to attack the defense with full power or with full authority, you will just give the chance back to your opponents. But
That snaps the 4-0 run.
Service error will lead us to our second technical timeout. Galleries Tower still up by 3.
It is a mini comeback already for the PLDT high-speed hitters with a 4-1 run. There you see the leading scorer of Galleries Tower, France Ronquillo, with 15 points to her name, 14 attacks and 1 block. If you want to talk about progress, it's been that for France in the past couple of conferences. She also transitioned from being an open spiker to an opposite spiker, and there you see the scorer of PLDT, Savvy Davison, already with 23 points, 22 attacks, and 1 block. Can she reach 30 in this game? Erica, you know, Erica's been putting up her numbers. She has 14.
Yeah. That is the support that you want to see from Erica Santos. Because we already know that Savvy Davison will always get her touches, will always get her numbers. But when you have an efficient attacker like Erica Santos also doing damage dun sa depensa ng opponent, that will just give good results dito sa PLDT. But they're still trying to erase this 3-point lead built by the Galleries Tower. Still no Julia Coronel on the floor. This rotation has worked.
Yeah. The story in the third set. Santos dug up by Isa, push to the left, and a point off the block for France.
She's very comfortable in these hit outs.
She can reach 20 points with this pace. There's Jo Maraginot. A lot of playing time for her on her first game as a Highriser. And there's Jovi Prado with playing time as well, able to score.
Usually mga coaches, ayaw nilang tumatagal sa rotation na dalawa lang yung attackers. Right now, that is the rotation for Coach Ral Ricafort. So they need to score as many points as possible.
Oh, that's a drop. The second gift for Barbie Marzan.
Galleries Tower has forced a lot of overpasses from the high-speed hitters in this set.
Baliton returning for Carly Hernandez. Jewel Encarnacion, it's been a while since we have seen her.
That substitution will not be allowed. Late na for the protocol.
Kahit na tumakbo si Jewel, mamaya na. That's a miss received by Savvy and a chase by Angge. That still goes through for Jovi. Ronquillo quite low, but was there a touch by Del? At umami na.
Yeah. Double sub this time for Coach Ral. Back to a 5-point lead. A while ago, it was already down to 2. Pero nung pumasok si Franz Ronquillo, she just took charge and asked for the sets from Mabilangan.
Carnacion now returns. Legacion and De Leon are also back. (20) serving 50. Jesse, that was low. Quite interesting. It was a slide by the opposite spiker, which we don't normally see.
But that's a middle kasi ginagawa rin ni
Yeah.
Jessie yun. So I'm sure she's comfortable with that type of set.
Prado off the block.
She's a master of the hit-out technique. Itong si Jovi Prado. Placement shots and these hit-outs.
It's a point after all for Jovi. 3 in total. 21-16. Ball up by Jo. Nate to the left. Ronquillo with a smile on her face. Couldn't score. Counter with Del. And we shall continue. Great effort by Galeries. Just not enough.
Legacion has to utilize Salvi Davison in this rotation if they want to catch up. 4 points, kayang-kaya ng isang Salvi Davison. But for Galeries Tower, this is your time to put more pressure on PLDT.
Oh!
But you have to get a good pass first.
That is point number 24 for Savvy Davison. Just too easy off of the misreceive. Gotta give credit to Jovi Prado as well for her serve. She will continue. Still not the best of first balls. And that's outside for Galeries. Ito na naman tayo, ang panapos ng Highrisers. Can PLDT close in? They're down by 2.
Yung pwede natin to paganahin, pero again, maraming options. Kausapin niyo rin yung center. Sinong blocker mo dito? Si Jessie. O kaya mo yun. Kaya mo yun. Anong play natin? Si Jessie ang blocker dito. Bitres pa rin?
Pinadulo ko yung receive. Ikot lang si Rosel.
Para sumunod yung ano. Oh, dulo ang pasa, sa kanan ng pasa.
Oh!
Ngayon, out of system, dalawa yung backrow natin.
There were a lot of instructions in that timeout from Coach Lerma with the help of her assistant coaches.
That's Coach Scott.
Player
Subiere.
from USD before, pati si Wewe Medina, also a
USD
golden
din.
spiker.
Oh, and another gift for Savvy Davison. And how about Jovi Prado having such a nice time serving?
Coach Lerma was asking for a pass dun sa right side of the court. They want the location of the pass na pumatak dito sa right pin para mahiwala yung blockers.
It's a 5-0 run for PLDT. Davison, another drop. Well, you asked for her.
Yeah.
And here she is delivering.
That 6-point lead is gone.
6-0 run and 26 points in this game for Savvy Davison. A virtual race to 4. Ronquillo blocked. Back row. The pipe doesn't work. Here's the counter with Savvy. Who else?
No-brainer. Savvy Davison is the best choice right now for the high-speed hitters. Medyo nararattle yung Galeries Tower pag kinahabol sila ng opponent nila. So that's something that they have to really figure out kung paano nila pwedeng nagpasan. Julia Coronel is now back.
22-21, a 7-0 run. Down the line. That breaks the spell for Galeries. 18 for France Ronquillo. It's her duel with Savvy Davison. Coronel has a full front line. Baliton, Jimenez, and Ronquillo. Can she capitalize? That's a chase for Legacion. She bumped with Davison, and a chance for Galeries. Isa under.
Overshot the mark there. PLDT will now hold on to a 1-point lead, but there's still a challenge on the floor. Nagtawag na ng substitution si Coach Ralph, but we still have to review that last hit of Isa Jimenez. It's a ball-in, ball-out challenge from Galeries Tower.
Is it just a virtual timeout for Coach Lerma Hiron? That was out. (23-22). Sheila Quiseo returns to serve for the Black Shirts. PLDT looking for their first sweep in this conference. This could be the first match that will be settled in straight sets for Galeries Tower. Quiseo, service in. Eroa to the left. Jimenez is blocked. Coverage and a miscue. This block of the set is brought to you by East West Bank, the official bank of the PVL All-Filipino Conference. A 9-1 run. No save. Ronquillo will get yet another point. Still a match point, PLDT. Ball up. Davison could not finish it yet. Here's the counter with Jo. Arado with the dig. Legacion, Savvy to the back. Counter. Maraginot blocked. Coverage by Julia. Inoa goes right. That's quite tight. And the return by PLDT. They end the match with a 10-2 run.
What a comeback from the high-speed hitters. Again, experience just prevailed in this match. Doesn't matter if it was a 6, 5, 4-point lead. PLDT knew how to come back. That last set was just too tight. It was already near the hands of Savvy Davison. PLDT will escape the Galeries Tower Highrisers in this match.
It is PLDT's second win in their conference. Savvy Davison finishes with 28 points. Not a 30-piece, but still a W for them. And Galeries will go down to 0-3. It is PLDT in 3 sets against Galeries, 27-25, 25-22, 25-23. It was tight, but not enough for the Highrisers. As now we turn you over to Alexis Tinsay for our best player interview.
Migs and Neil, if it's not so obvious, here with me is player of the game with 28 blasting points, none other than Savvy Davison. Congratulations, Savvy. So, Savvy, you know that you won in 3 straight sets, but those 3 straight sets, it was actually tightly packed, you know, with those points together with Gallery. So how did you manage to get that end game and that finisher?
I think it's one of the lessons that we learned in our first game. We have to have the urgency to kind of close out the set. And I know a lot of, you know, the higher ranked teams come whenever our games are, they're going to start pressing us. And I think that's one of the lessons that we really have to tune in on. So I'm glad that we kind of pushed through today.
And I actually remember that you told me about that sense of urgency a while ago in the pregame. And also, secondly, I heard that Coach Rald in the huddle asked you what you preferred when it came to your approach against the Galleries Tower in the last few points of set 3. So how big of a factor is Coach Rald's trust in you?
I think over the past year, we've built both lines of communication, really trustworthy. We kind of think the same in terms of the system. So I feel very confident that he has a trust in me, and the same way goes for him. So I'm glad that that's kind of our bond. But it comes down to like the last kind of points that, you know, I turn to him and ask, you know, what do I do? So I'm glad.
And it truly showed there. Would you want to greet your loved ones, your family, your friends, who are actually really watching you?
I know. Thank you, guys. Thank you, fans, for coming out to PLDT. Also to my dad, he landed this morning in the Philippines, so I'm glad that he came in to watch our game. Thanks.
I'm so happy that your dad is back here. Congratulations again, Savvy, to the rest of the PLDT high-speed hitters. We have more games coming this Thursday in the PhilOil Eco Oil Center. See you back then.
So, this is only 90 to 95% of Savvy Davison apparently, but Neil, crazy numbers from her.
I mean, 49% attack efficiency. She did have 53 attempts. Madami-dami yun. So I'm sure napagod siya, but at least they finished this in 3 straight
It
sets.
doesn't seem like it.
I mean, she also had 2 blocks, 6 excellent digs, and 8 excellent receptions. So it's a little bit of everything in the skills department for Savvy Davison. They're finally up 2-0 here in our conference. And again, the goal for PLDT is to get to the next round and hopefully make it to the very end. Feeling ko masyado nang overdue itong PLDT. Matagal na silang ripe for these medal matches. So I am excited for their journey this conference.
And let's hope that health would be a factor that would favor them in this long All-Filipino conference. You mentioned the digs and receptions of Savvy Davison. She just had to get into the mix of the Eliza Eroases and the Catarados of the world. Cat actually wins that libero matchup in terms of numbers. 15 digs, 10 receptions, while it's 11 and 8. Still, pretty good numbers from Eliza Eroa. Jo Maraginot made her debut for Galeries Tower, and she played extended minutes, even though she only has been with the team for 3 days. And you see our final tally.
Even though PLDT gave away more unforced errors, they were still able to get that advantage in attacking and blocking. And yun talaga yung naging lamang nila. It was very clear the fact that Savvy Davison scored 28 points. No-brainer na lamang yung PLDT when it comes to offense. For Galleries, they're getting there. We've seen a lot of improvements in their system, but it's still their offense. It's still their end game that needs to be addressed in their following games.
And we did see the mix and match from Coach Lerma Hiron a while ago. At some point, Julia Coronel was at the bench. Jewel Encarnacion also spent a decent amount at the bench of Galeries Tower. So what would it look like moving forward for them? But on Thursday, it's going to be Cherry Tigo versus Signal HD at 4 p.m. inside the PhilOil Eco Oil Center in San Juan. That's going to be our first game. And it will be followed by Chocomucho versus Capital One at 6:30 p.m. So for those of you who joined us here in Antipolo, thank you so much. We go back to San Juan this coming Thursday, and the PVL will be on tour as well this coming Saturday. Thank you for joining us. For Alexis Tinsay and Neil Flores, my name is Mix Gomez for our PVL All-Filipino Conference.